Are there credit issues still? Lots of people are saying that the fact that junk bonds have done so well, for example, is just an outrage and they're going to collapse and we're going to have huge defaults.
Well, it always seems that way after the recovery. The recovery seems much too precipitous, much too ill-considered. And there's no bull market like a credit bull market. It just rips. And this credit bull market has ripped since about December 2009. And junk bonds, as you indicate, are back to where they were before our sorrows. And it seems somehow wrong that they were able to do it. It seems as if they did not pay suitable penance for their sins of the early and mid-aughts. I think credit for the time being is okay. I think the excess developing is in the seeming so-called super safe treasuries. It's Wall Street Journal's phrase, super safe treasuries.
And what is the risk there?
Well, the risk is interest rate risk, of course, but there's also a risk that the government itself proves an unworthy creditor, a borrower, debtor. Governments historically have been prone to renege, and people think that this country is, this government will never, because after all, we Americans create the world's Coca-Cola of monetary brands. The dollar is the world's reserve currency, and we can print it at negligible cost right here at home. Therefore, why would we ever default?
And do you think that's a reasonable view?
Well, we will certainly never be unable to produce or digitize dollar bills. That is in our ken and our ability. The question is, what will those dollars buy and who will accept them? And it is simply historically wrong to contend, as so many do, that we've never defaulted. If you read the papers in 1933, you probably weren't reading the papers in 1933.
I was not.
But the London press talked about the American default because the United States had unilaterally revalued the dollar from $20 and change per ounce of gold to 30, at length 35. That was kind of a default. And so in 1971, August 15th, 1971, when Richard M. Nixon preempted Ponderosa at 9 o'clock, still mad at him for that, and announced that the United States would henceforth no longer exchange dollar bills for gold. That was also a kind of default.